What's up, guys? It's Dave. I just wanted to come back and do my iPhone 3GS review because I had said during the unboxing that I would go ahead and do one. So that's what this is going to be all about. What I'm going to do first is kind of compare it to my iPod Touch, which is the first generation iPod Touch, just to give you an idea of the dimensions of the 3GS as well as the speed of the 3GS, which is a big feature. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Right here is the iPhone 3GS. Sorry, the video is a little bit dark, but you can tell it's got the nice black back. I put a invisible shield on it, so that's kind of nice. And here is my iPod Touch. You can tell because it has the fingerprint magnet silver back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up Google Earth on both of these phones, or both of these devices rather, just to give you an idea of the speed difference because Google Earth is a pretty substantial application. It takes some horsepower to get going, and it should give you a good idea. One thing to note is that this is not running, my iPod Touch isn't running iPhone 3.0, OS 3.0. It's just on the second update with the App Store and stuff. So I don't know if that really makes a difference, but if it does, that's one thing to think about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the button on both of these at the same time just because it's kind of hard to do backwards, and then you can get an idea of how long it takes. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. And they're both away. Remember, this one's the 3GS. Very thrilling, I know. And the 3GS is done. iPod Touch is still loading. There it goes. Okay, now the iPod Touch is done. So that just gives you an idea of the difference in speed, anyways. As far as dimensions go, I'll just hold them both up here back to back. Same dimensions as the iPhone 3G. So you can see the iPhone obviously a bit thicker, noticeably thicker actually. I kind of like the way it feels in my hand, to be honest. Just the extra heft and the thickness makes it actually feel like a phone rather than just an iPod, but that's one thing to consider if you're looking at both devices. So far, I have to say I'm really happy with it. Battery life seems pretty good. I only have to charge it maybe at most once a day, so I just put it on the charger overnight, and then I'm good to go for the next day. Trying to think if there's anything else. The OS 3.0 is really handy. I'm liking the Spotlight search. Easy to find and launch both applications and look through contacts and things like that. Trying to think what else. This is only the 16 gigabyte version, not the 32 gigabyte, but that's one thing. The camera is awesome. I'm actually really liking the camera. The only thing is because it's a phone, it's kind of hard to keep steady. But I have to say that the camera is pretty impressive. It's a 3 megapixel camera, and it also shoots video, which is nice. The video quality is pretty hefty. I'll have to upload a video to YouTube just to give you an idea how it looks. But I have a Flip Mino HD, and it doesn't quite compare to the HD, obviously, but it shoots in 640 by 480, so it's close enough. Perfect for when you're, just out and about. You're not really thinking about recording something and then something comes up and you decide to go ahead and take a video. The controls are really easy to use. One feature that I'm really digging, which is kind of funny because it seems kind of goofy, is the compass. And it's not really so much about the actual compass application, which you can see right there, if my camera ever adjusts. It's not really so much about that, but the fact that it works with Google Maps. So instead of just going into Google Maps and getting your little dot to show where you are, it'll actually adjust depending on which way you're headed, so you can get a good idea of what's around you, which direction you're going, which direction you have to be going, and so on. So that's a pretty cool feature. So that's pretty much it. I'm really liking it so far. One thing I wish it had was, and this isn't so much an Apple thing, but a Google thing. I use Gmail for my email, I use Google Calendar for my calendar, and I also use Google for my contacts. And right now there's an application, or a service rather, that lets you sync up your Google Contacts and Calendar with the iPhone and a couple other mobile devices, BlackBerry too, I think. That's all really great, but it doesn't have push for Gmail yet. For some reason, Google hasn't decided to enable push, which would be nice to have. That way, every time I got a new email, it would be automatically pushed to my phone. Otherwise, the contacts and the calendar both update automatically, which is cool. Not a big deal to have to go in and manually check the email, but it would be nice if I could just get the push notification. But like I said, that's more of an app or a Google thing than an Apple thing. And I know you can, if you get, what's it called, Mobile Me, that they'll automatically do push email notifications, but that's $99 a year. And I don't think it's that important of a feature to pay $99 a year just to get push email. If you guys have any suggestions for how to kind of recreate push email for Gmail on the iPhone, please leave a comment. Otherwise, if you have any questions in general about the iPhone 3GS, feel free to leave a note and I'll get back to you if I can. Take it easy.